Hi, I'm Pete, and welcome to Just a Few Acres Farm. For the past few days, I've been in a farming quandary. Morning, Hillary. Are you ready?
I just gotta get the farm break.
You want to walk? We ought to have a walkway through here. We've got this narrow strip of ground from here to here that I mowed about a month ago to work chickens in. And this is what the rest of the field looks like. Some of it's laid down, it's so tall. Kind of looks like a mess. Yep. Calf check. Hey, you. You're big and round. Tulip. Any day now. Any day. Howdy, gents. $22.05, you always come and see me. Hey, $22.03. Where are the rest of the moms? Hey, Patti. And little one? What's going on down here? I didn't expect you to have your calf. You weren't on my list, but your udder's full. Looks like she's just starting. The front hooves are just poking out. I'll kneel back here and keep my distance, and we can watch a calf being born. Hopefully everything's all right. Fortunately, I've drawn everybody else down here. She's pushing. I see a knee. That bag hanging down below is the sack that the calf's born in. I see a nose. And a head. Good job! She licks it off to stimulate it. Yeah, he's breathing just fine. His eyes are open. Here's Patti's little calf. Born 2 days ago. We tagged and just butted him, dehorned him yesterday. He's a bull calf, but we didn't castrate him. The thought being we're gonna let him grow out as a possible replacement for Titus, or a phase-in for Titus. It works genetically. I've gone through the charts, and he can breed a substantial portion of our herd without fear of inbreeding. We don't have a name for him yet. We want to think of something special if he's going to be a breeding bull. Steps right after birth for a calf. The sac has to break so the calf can breathe. This one broke while he or she was still in mom. The calf should get up relatively quickly on shaky legs, and then nursing is the final one. Gonna be just fine. Bull calf. Congratulations, Dolly. I'm gonna leave her alone. Calf looks fine. Hopefully it'll draw these guys away from her and give her some peace with her calf. Come on, guys, leave her alone. Yeah, let her have some peace with her calf. Hillary and I make decisions collaboratively on the farm, and it's so important to have that second person, or else you can get lost in your own head with trying to decide what's most important on a farm. In the summer months, it's often triage that you're doing. You can never get everything done. You're always trying to get the most important things done, and this weekend is a good example. I still have 10 acres of first cutting hay to make, and it's way overdue. Usually I would make first cutting hay at the end of May on a good year, first week of June, second week of June. Here we are approaching the end of June. It's just been too wet. It hasn't been dry enough or warm enough for an extended enough period of time to finish it. Most of the crops have gone in around me. It's been dry enough to do that. Now we're faced with 2 days coming up, the day after tomorrow and the day after that, where it's supposed to be in the mid-90s, which is very hot for here and should be good drying weather. See, the sun's coming out a little bit. Today and tomorrow aren't supposed to be all that warm or sunny, but after that, I could make hay in 30 hours probably. I was gung-ho to cut hay this afternoon, yesterday, and then it thunderstormed 1/4 inch in about 10 minutes yesterday evening, and I started to question my decision. This is where having a sounding board or shared decision making comes in really handy. I'm pretty good at putting out different options as far as it could go this way, this way, this way, this way. Sitting down and talking to Hillary is where we really iron out which way to go, and I decided not to make hay because I'm leaving for Missouri on the 3rd day, and I really have to hustle to make hay that quick. And to compound it, I want to make a video out of it because I'll be working the 856. I spent 2 years working on that tractor. People deserve to see it at work in the field. It takes me about twice as long to make hay, plus the editing time when I'm filming it. So we decided to hold off, that it was prudent to hold off. And meanwhile, we have some other projects that will make making hay a little easier. Rummaging parts for the first job, I happen to remember that I have these. And these, 2 of them. There's about 1 million holes in this loader bucket from when I used to have manure forks on it. I enjoy the creativity of figuring out how to do something with what you have on hand rather than going out and buying lots of stuff. This tube had calcium in it. Unfortunately, the tube is not a flat surface because it was around the wheel. All kinds of curves. 11 by 6 is what I want. Or maybe it's 6 by 11. Times 2. I need to take the chains off this tractor. It's bumpy. This is a new Robson Canopy for my 856 that I've been working on. I got it from Jesse down at Restoration Tractor Sales in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I find more and more that I don't have a lot of protection, natural protection up top. And working under a canopy when you're doing hay makes all the difference on a hot day. The canopy on my 656 is made by Iron Bull. And looking at the details, it's got 4 big bolts on each side, thick plates. And it's welded up top and the canopy's bolted onto it. I don't know the manufacturer of this one. I saw them at the auction down there last year. Here's the base. It's really beefy, and plus it's got these plates that go on to conform to the octagonal axles once it's on. The top of it, instead of being welded here, is bolted with a gusset. It looks strong to me. It looks just as strong as the Iron Bull. It came just like this, all assembled, which saves me a ton of time over. I had to put together the Iron Bull and it took me quite a while. I just drove a trailer down and put it on the trailer and brought it back, and now I can put it on. Is that going to fit? It overlaps on both sides. Two of these bolts are blind, so they're threaded in here. I got 2 links of bolts. Yep. These ones thread up into the receiver. This job has turned into an ordeal. I've been working on it for a couple hours. The loader's off of it. I've got all the front bolts on. The problem is that the frame is a little bit narrower, the ROPS frame, than it should be, and it's got to line up with these little slots here. See, it doesn't want to. It tilts the bolts, and then the bolts won't thread into where it's been threaded. The holes are threaded in here. If I had thought about it, I would have put temporary bolts in this top plate and put this all on at once instead of setting this onto the top plate, because now I'm left with misaligned holes here, and the inner tube that I put in between is misaligned too, so I can't get the bolts started. I'd planned on doing other things today, but I don't think that's going to happen. I want to get this finished and off my mind before I move on to something else. Maybe I can pull this out a little bit with a ratchet strap. This seemed to have worked. A small porta-power would have been nice too, but I don't own one. I don't think that's aligned. I might have to go to plan B3. We're going to try this again. These are the front bolts that I got on. They're coming back off. I'm going to put these temporaries in. Oh no. Really? Oh. It won't fit. Nothing fits together. We're going to do this. Make sure that's lined up. One side. Not bad. All the bolts are in, but I still got to tighten them down. Oh, yeah. These are 1-inch grade 8 bolts, which means to me that tight is whatever I can pull with a 3/4 inch breaker bar and a 4-foot pipe. And I tighten them down to get them even with the impact wrench first, and this is the second tightening. I guess it's a little lower than the 656 Canopy. What I'm interested in is how much echo I get in it, or reverberation, and we'll see. With me, since I have a microphone on, and it's not nearly as bad as the 656, although the fenders aren't on yet, and they're like big shaky things. This canopy had to go on first before any of the rest of the sheet metal because the fenders mount directly to the sides of the canopy right here and here. And in order to get everything lined up, I have to put the hood on so I can establish that line that the hood makes and then bring that line right back with the fenders so it all lines up level. Can you tell that was a big job for me? It's warmed up. I'm soaked. I thought this would take 2 hours. It took me 5 hours. This canopy is kind of like life. It didn't come with any instructions. I had to figure it out as I went along. I thought I had planned for it. And you know, there's some things where the original plan doesn't work out and you just try and force it. And you bowl along on that plan that you had. And I tried it with putting in those rear bolts. And then I thought about it, and it entailed a run to the hardware store to get bolts to line up everything. I can pull it back off and go to plan B, and that turned out to work. I mean, sometimes in life you have to bull through the situation you're in and to get to the next place, and sometimes you need to reevaluate and try a different approach. Anyway, I guess that's my short bit of philosophy for the day. I am going to Red Power Roundup in a few days. If you're going there in Sedalia, Missouri, later on this week, I hope to see you there. I will make some videos while I'm there and let y'all see what it looks like. They're going to restore an F-14 in 3 days, and I saw a picture of it. It's a rusty old tractor. The head was off of it, and supposedly they're going to get it painted and running all that. That should be interesting. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.